Hi everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this Cartalla bracelet, and this was designed by Hammerberg Eva on Instagram. I'll have her name in the description box below, and I'll bring it up here in just a second. Also, excuse my fingernails, they're all red because one of my markers exploded and it won't come out of my fingers, so it's not like blood or anything, but yeah, it's just going to be red. But anyway, this is the design. It's based off of a single chain. And let me bring up her profile here. So spelled like this, Hammerberg Eva. And this is her profile, if the pictures will load. She creates a lot of really wide designs based off of like single chains or smaller center pieces. So definitely make sure to check out her account, like her photos, and give her a follow for me. And we'll go ahead and get started. So what you're going to want today is a hook. I'm going to use my crochet hook, but you don't need both ends. You only need one end of the hook. And you're also going to want to have a single chain before we start. I already have mine pre-made. So you might want to pause the video here and make that. You're also going to want a C-clip or a couple of them to hold onto your bands as you close it off. And some other band colors obviously, and we'll go ahead and get started. So once you have your single chain, we're going to be adding pluvial or hopes and dreams borders. I don't know if pluvial is the right way to say it, but that's what we're going to be doing for the first one. So make sure that your cap band is an O facing you, and you're going to go inside of it, like through the back, and grab your next outside color. I'm going to use olive green. Pull that through the cap band and close. Then you're going to go up to the side and grab that top loop. You're going to leave that bottom loop there. You're just going to grab this top loop. Pull another olive green band through all three loops on your hook. And close. Go up to the next band. Grab just this top band here. Take an olive green through all three and close. Go up to the next one. Grab just the top band. Pull a band through all three and close. And just continue this process all the way up. It's a pretty simple process, and if you've ever made the Hopes and Dreams bracelet, this should be extremely easy because that's what the bracelet is based off of. Is this stitch. Okay. And once you get to this last chain up here, what I like to do to kind of help close it off is I'm going to stick my hook through the back and actually grab both of those loops. And it's going to look a little bit weird, but you can just, I guess, keep it like that and pull one last band through those 4 loops instead of the 3 because you put your hook through both. And now what you can actually do is take this C-clip off and hold it there because this band is captured, so you don't need to hold on to it. You can take this clip and put it on the olive green bands. And it'll look like this. This end part will be a little bit weird, just like I said, but we'll fix it when we go up the other side. So just like in the Hopes and Dreams, the pluvial bracelet, you're going to turn your bracelet around so that the C-clip is closer to you than the cap band is, and we're actually going to have to work backwards. So again, sticking your hook through the cap band here, going to pull an olive green band through. You're going to go up to here, grab that top chain, just the top part of that chain, pull a band through all 3 loops and close. Go up to the next one, grab just that top band, pull a band through and close, and just continue all the way up the rest of the chain. Alright, so I'm at the top chain here. What I'm going to do is stick my hook through the back again. So this part is going to be a little bit tricky. You just have to kind of know where the back is. You can kind of pull these 2 loops out if you need to. Just stick your hook through them, like so, and pull one last band through those 4 loops. So it'll look something like this. And now stick that other band on your hook, and if you want you can pull another band through, or you can just attach these next two bands to the C-clip. I'm just going to do that for now, is pull these next two bands through the C-clip. And then this is what you should have. This is what the chain is going to look like up at the top. And then this is going to get kind of scrunched here, but at the end it'll get less so. So once you have this, what we're going to go ahead and do is add the yellow border here. So this olive green was the green. Now we're going to add this glitter yellow. So what you're going to go ahead and do is take your hook and you're going to go into the side here. So you're going to go through the back of this band, stick your hook through, and pull these two olive green loops here out through that chain. So it's going to look like this. So you're going to grab both of those loops. Now take two of your next border color. I'm going to use caramel. Pull the first band through those two loops and close. Take a second band through those two caramel loops and close. Now we're going to go up to the next chain. So we're going to want to grab these two olive green loops here from inside. So just stick your hook in through the side and grab both of those loops, and then just pull this over. And make sure that one part of the single chain is on both sides of your hook. Now here's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. You're going to take two of your border color again, but this time you're only going to pull your first caramel band through the first three. You're going to lift this one closest to your hook, flip this second loop over the first and over the end of the hook, and then attach the other end back on. Now taking your next caramel band, you're going to just simply pull this through all three loops on your hook and close. You're going to go up to the next chain, grab those two olive green bands, pull it out, take two of your caramel bands. Your first one will go through the first three bands, lift the first band, or the band closest to your hook, flip the second loop over the first and over the end of the hook, and reattach this band that you're still holding. Then take your next band, pull it through all three loops on your hook, and close. Now go inside the next chain, again pulling this out, grabbing your caramel band, pulling that through the first three, lift the first loop, flip the second loop over and over the end of the hook and reattach. So the band that you flip over is the other side of the band that you're holding. Then take your next caramel band through those three loops and close. So you're going to continue doing this all the way up to the end of the hook, and I'll show you what to do when you get to the end, but for now you can just follow along or skip to the end. Okay, so the last bands that I'm going to grab are these ones here. They're the ones right before the C-clipped ones. So I'm just going to do the same thing that I've been doing for this. But just know, like, that's where you should stop. Okay, so once you're at this point, you're going to go ahead and put all four of those olive green loops back onto your hook and take the C-clip off. Or if you pulled a band through all four of these loops, then unloop that band and put these olive green loops on. Now I'm going to take a caramel band. It doesn't really matter what color. I'm just going to take caramel, and you're going to pull this band through all 6 loops and close. Then attach your C-clip. And when we finish this caramel border on the other side, we'll pull those 2 bands into the C-clip as well, or into the band that's on the C-clip. So you can turn this around, and you don't have to work backwards from now on. It was just for this first step. But now I'm going to show you how to do this other side. So it's pretty much the same thing. You're going to go through here, and you're going to grab these 2 olive green bands. It's kind of hard to see on the first loop, so might have to hold those bands off to the side. But once you have those 2 loops, just like we did in the beginning, take a single caramel band through the first 2 loops, and then take another single band through the first 2 loops again. So you should just basically attach 2 single chains, then go up into the next single chain section, grab those 2 loops, pull a caramel band through the first 3, lift the first one, flip the second over the end of the hook, and take a band through all 3 loops. So this is just the same process we're doing on the other side, or that we did on the other side, and we're going to do this all the way up as well. So if you still need instructions, you can rewind to where I first showed you how to do them, or you can just kind of follow along. Oops. Oops. If that happens, just make sure that your bands get put back the correct way. Like if your bands fall out, just make sure that you put them back right. Okay, this is going to be my last stitch on this side. And then I'm going to take one of these caramel loops off of the C-clip and pull these next 2 in. So now I should have 8 loops total on my C-clip, and then we're going to close. And I'm going to re-clip these bands. So now it'll look something like this. And now we have one more border to add, which in this bracelet is the chartreuse on the outside. And I'll show you how to do that. It's pretty much the same thing that we did on this caramel border. So what you're going to do is go inside, and you're going to grab these 2 caramel loops right here. So this first single chain, just like we did with the first olive green chain. And you're going to take 2 of your border color. I'm going to use this burgundy. Loop on 2 single chains, like so. Now we're going to go up and grab these next 2 caramel bands. So we're going to completely ignore these kind of curly Q bands that are closer to the inside. We're going to grab these bands that are single chains on the outside. So go inside of, or go into the side, grab these 2 loops and pull it out. Grab your 2 burgundy bands. Your first one will go through the first 3 loops. Lift the first, then flip, reattach, and pull another border band through all 3. Go up into the next one, grab the next 2 loops, pull a band through the first 3, flip the first one, flip, reattach, and pull a band through all 3. So this is what you're going to be doing all the way up to the end. It's just like we did on the other side, except in this bracelet you just kind of have to pay attention to what bands you're grabbing, or in this part of the bracelet I should say, because you only want to grab those single chain bands, not the curly Q bands that you also added with them. So hopefully you have the gist of this stitch by now. I'm going to go ahead and continue up to the top, and I'll show you how to close it off, and then how to do the other side, and then how to close it off to finish. So this is going to be my last stitch on this side. I'm not going to grab any of the bands that are inside of this clipped band, so I'm going to leave that stitch. This is going to be my last one. Okay, so once you have that, you can go ahead and take both of these caramel loops back up onto your hook. Take the C-clip off. Pull one last band. I'm just going to use burgundy through these 4 and close. Then reattach the clip. And we'll repeat this on the other side. So I'm just going to turn it over. Again, we don't have to work backwards anymore. That was just for the first one. I'm going to stick my hook through this side, grab those 2 caramel loops, just like we did with the olive green. And I'm going to loop on 2 single chains, like so. And then continue with this stitch again, grabbing both ends of that single chain loop, and pulling a band through, lifting the first one, flipping, putting that back on, and then pulling a band through all 3. So I'm going to try and quickly do this, and then I'll show you how to close it off, and we'll be done. Again, this is going to be my last stitch because I'm not going to grab the bands that are inside of this single caramel band up at the top. Once you have this last band, just unclip one of these burgundy loops, pull those 2 loops on, reattach the other side so that you can clip it. Oops. Okay. So now I have my bracelet. It should look like this. So you can adjust the bands if you need to, but this is what it should look like. And then up at the top here where it looked kind of funky before, you really can't tell. So that's pretty good. So obviously this is the front side, but you can wear it on the back side too. It'll look better when it is a kind of a long chain or a longer length. But that is going to do it for this video, so thank you for watching. If you liked it, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe. I will have Hammerberg Eva's name in the description box below. Make sure to check her out on Instagram, give her a follow for me, but that is going to do it for this video, and I hope to see you next time.